All right, it is close enough to 6 p.m. November 9th. Let's call the November 9th, 2020 Leisure Services Advisory Board meeting to order. And first order of business will be our Pledge of Allegiance, and we will be led this evening by Amber's daughter, Holly. And if we could, let's wait to join in until after the word America. How's that? Okay, Miss Holly?
You're up, girl.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good.
5 stars.
She's our star. Nobody else gets her.
5 stars. All right, welcome back, everybody. Next item on our agenda is the Citizens Open Forum, and we do have a citizen to speak.
You do. You have a citizen.
Name and address for the record.
Hello, everybody. My name is Pam Settle. I live at 439 Lakeview Drive. And I am here to say hello and introduce myself to you. I am a qualified candidate for Oldsmar City Council. I am running for seat 1. You all may not know me around here in Oldsmar, but I've been a family advocate for the last 16 years in Pinellas County, working as the marketing director for Pinellas County government. And for the last 10 years, running my own magazine about raising healthy and happy families. And a big portion of that is all about culture and art and leisure and fitness and nutrition and health. I believe that healthy families create healthy communities, and healthy communities in turn create healthy families. And we need that. And we need to do whatever we can to make that happen. So I wanted to come here and invite you to come to my Facebook page, which is Pamela Settle, candidate for Oldsmar City Council. You can read more about me and what I've done, but I want to let you know that I am a huge advocate for everything that this committee stands for, and that as leadership on the city council, that I would be looking for ways to enhance what's already happening, use my many partnerships that I have and relationships across Tampa Bay to see what we could do, things that are happening in other areas. What can we replicate here in Oldsmar for our citizens of all ages? Leisure and fitness is multi-generational, and I believe that. And finding ways to bring people together is something I'm really great at. And I look forward to everything that I've done in Pinellas County and taking that experience and bringing it right here to Oldsmar. So my campaign is Pamela Settle, Campaign for Oldsmar. If you have any questions, you want to talk to me, I really would love to get to know all of you on a name basis and have conversations about what your ideas are, because that's the kind of person I am, is wanting to bring ideas and make them reality. That's something I've done my entire career. Also would like to introduce my son, Jackson, who is a chip off the old block. I call him my little acorn. He's amazing. And so he's your new teen member. We started this process even before I decided to run for city council. It was just something that we looked at as a family, is what can we do to be involved and contribute what we have to our community. So thank you. I appreciate this time, and I look forward to getting to know all of you a little bit more. Thank you.
And that's our election coming up in March?
It is in March. It's March 9th. Mail ballots will go out 1st of February. So December, January, you'll be seeing a lot more of me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Pleasure.
And I did have the pleasure of serving on the Ordinance Review Committee with Pam, who was our chairperson. That was a very, what word should we use? Tedious committee? Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Pam. Okay. Next item, since there are no more citizens here, next item will be the approval of our minutes from the February meeting, since at our August meeting, we did not have a quorum, so we could not approve them.
That's why I was missing those. Okay.
That's why we're seeing both February and August today. Any comments, corrections, additions on the minutes from the February 10th meeting? to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Approval of the minutes from the meeting of August the 10th. It's also in our packet here.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next item on our agenda is, we do have one other position for a teen on the board. We have 2 applicants pending, but I believe we only have 1 present, right, Ann? Mr. Devon, he would be the top on your application form packet here. Mr. Devon, if you want to step up and give us your bio, and board, of course, feel free to ask questions when Devon is done.
Okay, so my name is Devin Strathing Duncan. I live at 636 Timber Bay Circle East. I have been a resident of Oldsmar for, I want to say, 8 years now. I went to Oldsmar Elementary School. It's an amazing school. And I'm currently at East Lake High, where I'm doing the MyPCS semi-virtual option, I guess you would call it.
What does that mean exactly?
Basically, we're doing Microsoft Teams. It's like Zoom. We're doing it from home into the classroom. It's not the best option,
Challenging, say the least, right?
but it's still better than doing complete virtual school because I still get to see my friends, all 2 of them.
Well, you get a whole
Sorry,
bunch
just a
more
bit of
now.
humor there.
So do you do anything else in the city?
I was just appointed to the planning board as an ex officio teen, and that's pretty much everything in an official capacity, I guess.
Ready to jump in and get your feet wet.
Yeah, I have an interest in politics and the like.
Good for you.
Right.
Nina, questions? Anything?
Have you volunteered at any of the, I know this year we haven't really had many events to volunteer at. Have you volunteered at any in the 8 years or?
No, not really. I've been kind of an introvert for 7 out of the 8, and then this happened.
Okay. Well, this one will definitely get you volunteering. That'll be for sure. That's all I have.
That's what I would say. You're hearing a little bit, I'm also the theater director and dance director for the city of Oldsmar, so I always encourage, participation, get involved. If you want to get to meet new friends or become a little more extroverted, you can get around on any fringes with those type of programs. But I think getting your feet wet, at any of the boards is good because it starts teaching you a little bit about what the city's about and what the organizations and what we do and things like that. So, yeah, definitely get involved. You're trying to right now by getting on the board, so that's excellent.
Okay.
Amber?
Wait, you can just hear me.
Okay.
Prior to COVID, were you involved with anything at your schools? Elementary,
Yes,
middle, high?
I was in orchestra for 5 years now, since 6th grade. I started band last year, and I've been in the music theater program, except for this year because I had to switch out for scheduling reasons. And that's pretty much it. I don't do any sports or anything.
That's okay. We'll love to have you in
You have
theater
arts.
and our arts programs.
I have a lovely singing voice.
Struck a nerve over here.
Yeah, don't you feel me reaching out already?
Ken?
I'm in the same position you're in, just starting out in this, and welcome along for the ride if we make it happen.
Okay, thank you.
It's a little nerve-wracking talking in front of everybody just like yourself, and it's not the easiest thing to do sometimes. So
Definitely isn't.
Which elementary school did you go to?
Oldsmar Elementary, it's the one inside the neighborhood.
Oldsmar Elementary?
Yeah.
Oh, because I
Our Eagles.
volunteer there and I work with second graders and third graders. That's why I wondered if I had you.
I had an
I've been-
amazing second grade teacher.
I've been sponsoring a class for years and years. But anyway, you seem to be pretty active and want to get involved in a lot of things, which is good. which is good.
Gotta do something to break up the monotony, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, yes, lately.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm curious how you ended up here. Did you see this online, or did somebody nominate you or volunteer you, or
Okay, so it's a funny story.
I want to hear that.
My mom was fed up with her job one day, and she decided that she might want to quit. So she looked on the Oldsmar City website for a library job, and she just randomly came across the ex officio team position openings. So I applied for both this and the planning board, and I completely forgot about it. And then I got an email from Ms. Horvath, and now here I am.
Well, that's good.
Excellent.
So what do you envision, the position as being, as a teen member of this board?
Well, I know I'm not gonna be able to vote on stuff, but I would assume that I would be asked for my opinion on certain things.
We can fit that in, I think.
And
As far as that goes, we don't have to ask. If you have something to say, you can speak up.
Exactly.
Okay.
We always hope that our teens can get involved and give us more of an aspect and approach from teens on activities going on, parks, rec, even sports, anything that's going on in town, any ideas that you guys have. We always like to, that's what we're hoping by bringing the teens on board, is to get you actively involved, even though you don't have a vote. We want to hear your ideas, we want to hear your feedback, and we want to hear your suggestions.
I love being included in stuff, so
All right,
this
good
is great
deal.
for me.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
I see he has on here big picture planning. I got a bunch of spots I can fit him in.
Yes, you have a fan already here, to my left. Any other comments or questions? Care to make a recommendation for,
Are we able to approve him now while he's here, or do we have to?
have to send him to city council, right, Ann? We have to,
Yes,
What-
just the action to recommend his appointment.
so we need a motion and action to recommend him to go before city council to be approved by city council.
I would like to do that, but I want us to just make note that we did have two, and even though the other one didn't show, we would like
Yes.
to consider this option and give the other one an opportunity in the future,
I
correct?
believe this is her second opportunity.
Was that
isn't
it? So,
Yes.
Yes.
good, good, good. So I recommend that we bring Devin on board as our second teen officio member.
The city council.
Send him on, well, I recommend that we send you on to city council to be approved.
Second.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
On city
And the
council.
date of that might be, Ann, do you have a date on that?
Probably December 1st.
Okay. I will be out of town that week, so if,
Wait, what's the?
December
December
1st.
1st.
Oh,
So
December.
if someone or all, anybody could go
I will
as
try-
a matter
I'll
of
try to
support,
go.
just, they're gonna grill you for at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, right.
Kidding, just kidding.
Smile and say, no problem.
Bad with the
You
planning
got a little
board.
acting, just smile and say, no problem.
No problem.
You got it.
Just look for one of us as wear our official shirt, so he recognizes.
Yeah, and Ann, if you can, is there any chance you can send us around a reminder? I mean, I've got the show, the dance recital that Friday, so I'll be a little crazy, but I would be glad to be here as well. That's on Tuesday nights, right?
It's Holly's birthday, so I
December.
won't be there.
You won't be here, but Tuesday I should be able to clear, although we'll
So
have extra rehearsals.
someone, at least one member of the board should be there for moral support. So
Okay.
knock them dead, and we will see you I'm sure that they will approve you, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see you at our February meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. I like getting teams back involved. Thank you, guys.
Jackson, you got
He has a quick question.
Should I stay or can I go? I don't want to stay.
Should I stay or should I
I do. I
go?
was going there,
Sorry.
Suda.
Sorry, had to do it.
No problem.
You
She's
can go
probably got
ahead.
the car running, yes.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Devin.
Thank you.
You too.
All righty, our monthly reports.
All right. Monthly reports. You guys receive the monthly reports on a monthly basis, so.
Impressive. Lots of stuff, even with COVID problems.
I'm telling you, I give credit to the staff. There was some downtime at the beginning of COVID when everybody was pretty much on lockdown. But these guys have come out of the gate and are swinging their bats because they are hitting some home runs. And I'm going to let Bryn talk about some of the events. She's going to take those when we get to the events. But just wanted to highlight some of the things that have taken place over the past 3 months since August. That kind of note in regards to the monthly highlights. So at the end of in August, we were actually finishing up summer camp at that time when we had our meeting back in August. And I think we averaged about 54 per week for summer camp, which was pretty good. We take a max of 75.
So you're usually around
typically,
75, but
right?
yes.
So 75. So, and I joke with the staff. I said, you guys did such a great job over summer. No COVID cases. You followed protocol, sanitization, the parents, the whole 9 yards. You guys did such a good job that you were rewarded with 2 extra weeks of summer camp.
Yeah, right.
So they didn't find it funny. I thought it was humor, but anyway. But
Delicious can you be?
so yeah, we did extend summer camp 2 additional weeks and served the families here in Oldsmar. We got a couple nice notes from parents. Staff did a wonderful job. Wonderful job. They blew my mind in what they were able to accomplish in a modified setting. So kudos to those guys and ladies.
Because the school's delayed it 2 weeks, right? Right, okay.
Yep. All of our special events were canceled in August at that time still. We did begin renting fields to our sports teams, some of our rentals that come in. We have a lot of rentals that use the baseball fields, the soccer fields, So we did have a lot of rentals that came back, and we kind of discussed that the last time with a return to play plan regarding COVID. And, so things have been going well at this point, at that point. We had some return of programming, cardio drumming, and Zumba came back in August. Now we have some of our dancers back, and of course we had the Opal play, and the theater group came back. So we're trying to get back into the swing of things with the programming aspect. Some of the instructors are hesitant to come back indoors, so we're fighting that battle as well. Some people are leery to participate indoors.
I saw
so
yoga in the park or something like that.
So it's we're trying to make it work as best we can. It's hard with instructors, as Suda would well know, is that if you're an instructor and say you're used to having 12 people in your class and you're going to offer a class, but you're only going to get 3 or 4, it kind of is like you have to weigh out, you have to weigh the balances there to figure out, is it worth you to do it now? We've been working with some of our instructors, putting them out in the park. We have Zumba at the hockey rink. They have a covered area. So we're just trying to get creative with it to get people back out and active and offer something to the community. Moving on, we had a Tampa Bay Lightning playoff swag giveaway on September the 5th. I think they won the Stanley Cup because we let them come give away stuff here. It was that extra push.
I agree.
We'll take some credit for that.
All right, good for us.
And they also did offer a free hockey clinic for the youth on September the 26th.
Yeah, that was nice.
Back in September, we had what was our actual first event, per se. It was a tree giveaway on September the 19th. We had 350 trees that were given away. Very well organized, very well run, and kind of got our juices flowing again because we actually were able to do an event with people. It was just very nice to have people around. So that went very well. That was at the Municipal Services Center. Back in the fall, opening day for Oldsmar Little League, they had 167 participants register this fall. So their numbers were up. So
Quite a bit.
it is.
Yeah.
It was a large increase. So that's good for them. They're doing a really good job. They actually now have a new board. And I'm not saying that the old board didn't do a good job. It's just they have a new board now, and they got some different ideas that they're doing. So I've been working with their league president, Madison Parkinson, and so she's been doing a really nice job with the group here. I'm just going to mention these by name, and I'm going to let Bryn get into it for the event updates. But we did have a movie in the park. We had a parents' night out. We had the Opal Theater presentation, Haunted Happenings. And the hockey rink is reopened for our drop-in play. And so things are kind of getting back to normal, new normal, I guess you would call it, with certain protocols in line. So those are just some of the monthly report highlights that I wanted to go over for the group here. So.
I wanted to mention, I like the courses that are either being offered or being chosen to take. Managing financial stress, which is obviously a good one. Pulse training, the boosting your brain function, the mentoring, and building self-esteem in children. I think those are all, and those people that took those courses, I think those are all, excellent. I say Bren got in the managing financial stress one, right? Did it make you come out feeling, yeah, right. But I think that's great to see the staff getting those kind of opportunities to help deal with the challenges of many types we face these days. So congratulations to those that went to those courses too.
Great job on Movie in the Park. A lot of positive reviews about that, and everyone's hoping that'll keep coming back.
We do.
That tree giveaway was really good. I was there. I actually volunteered there. Very well organized, and I mean, it's a great opportunity to get kids involved and people involved with volunteering, but making sure it helps our community also. So I just want to congratulate y'all on that, and thank you.
I will have to say, Jackson, we all are gonna appreciate Jackson's service here because he stepped up at the tree giveaway. He was telling people what to do and taking his clipboard and going back and forth. I'm like, I like this kid. I like him. Good job.
Sign him up.
Yep,
We did.
Yep, he did a good job. Okay, so
Goes, by the way, to the staff, part of the ordinance review involved the, the chapter, the
Chapter
ordinances of leisure
42, yep.
services, and the staff did a great job bringing recommendations to our committee, which of course we send on to city council for their approval, but page after page of.
we apologize.
No.
But I think it was overdue, actually. I think there was a.
It's only done every 10 years.
Right.
So it was
There was
great job.
Yeah, they did a lot of work, a lot of effort.
Good folks.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Project updates?
Okay. Let's see. Project updates, not too long of a list here. The Angel Wing project is ready for installation. That should be in over here. And open up we'll have an unveiling on November 17th prior to the council meeting.
Oh, good.
Let's see, we painted, we had a company came in and painted the municipal services building and the canopy structures underneath. Doesn't sound like a big project, but it's a very large building and it really looks nice. Also provide some protection from rust and whatnot underneath of the canopy hanging there. So that was a project that we finished up. The park sidewalk repairs continue. We did Ariold Park, we did Sheffield Park, and the company's working their way through Mobley Bayou Wilderness Preserve now. So we're trying to address cracks in sidewalks and dangerous areas around the city and the parks. So that's kind of the goal there. The All Wars Monument was installed over in Veterans Park. That looks very nice. Actually, today, I met with the vendor. Today, they engraved the names on the memorial wall this morning. We provided them with a tent, and they stayed out of the rain, and they've got that engraved, so that'll be ready for Wednesday. Sheffield Basketball Court was resurfaced. The spray park project update, the work has begun on the shelters and the bathrooms. The shelters are repainted as of now. Half of the bathrooms have been retiled and repainted. We opened those up last week, and now we're doing the other half of the bathrooms at Cypress Forest at the spray park. So that should be completed in the next couple of weeks. Materials have been purchased for the viewing area and for the bridge renovation part of that project. And we have an agenda item on the 17th for a purchase of the spray park equipment. So we're hoping to, that'll go through and we'll get that thing started. I'm talking to the vendor. There's about a 6-week engineering time for this stuff. So hopefully sometime in January, if approved by council, that we'll get this project moving forward. And hopefully, he said, cross fingers, hopefully finished by April. Believe it or not, they have a long list. People have been transitioning to spray parks more than swimming pools, which kind of makes sense. The operating costs are less, and you still get a water element feature in your community. But I guess the installer is really backed up in his installations because of all of this.
That's a good problem to have
So it's a good
days.
problem to have, right? But we want our spray park open in May. So, and then So, and then the BMX track update, the city manager is in negotiations right now and hopes to have something to present to council for consideration in the not too distant future here. So that process is moving along. So we're hoping that we get something moving there and
Did
get
you
that
get that
project.
proposal in September?
What's that?
Did you have a proposal?
We had,
reviewing?
all the proposals came in on time and were reviewed. Well, there was one proposal, so Kokalakis and construction. So, yeah, so city manager's working on it now.
Not much until it gets to council, till we can hear numbers and things
Correct.
like that. Gotcha.
Correct. And that's kind of a small project update list. We're at the end of the fiscal year as this is occurring. So most of our projects have come to a close, and now we're reopening the new projects for fiscal 21. So those are just getting kicked off. So that's all I have for project updates.
Thank you, Chip. Okay, Bryn, I guess you're on for upcoming events.
Getting a drum roll too. And
Apparently. Okay, so as Chip kind of mentioned, we did have a few events really quick that I want to mention. We sort of combined our parents' night out with our movies in the park. So we had about 10 kids come to parents' night out, and we were able to safely transport them down to the park, social distance properly, and they got to enjoy the movie at the park, and we got to bring them pizza and everything. The movie in the park, we had about 320 in attendance.
That's good.
Ready to get out.
You know, I live closer there, and I looked outside when it got dark, and I'm going, what are all these people doing here? And I saw that
Watching
there was a
Hotel
movie.
Transylvania.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was.
Oh, wow. Good for you guys. Good for us. You know, so.
So we were careful about putting out dots for social distancing. So we painted these dots on the grass out on the field. So groups of no more than 8 could gather around each dot, so they were properly social distanced. And like I mentioned, we showed Hotel Transylvania, so that was a good one. On October 24th, we had an amazing Disney's Aladdin Junior presented by Opal Theater. Or is it the other way around?
No, you did it right. Disney's Aladdin Jr. presented by Opal Theater, or Opal Theater presents Disney's Aladdin Jr. Either one of those I
There we
believe are
go.
appropriate.
Again, we employed the dots for social distancing. 570 people.
We tripled our January show.
570 people came to the show.
Very proud, very proud.
That was great.
Really good. I mean, it was cool outside and
It
Yep,
was
we
beautiful.
Had good weather for it. The
Yeah.
students did great. Hats off to the city for all they did, because they had to have signage out there, and we had no idea whether we were going to get 100 or 500. We ended up with almost 6. Food vendors were excellent that they pulled in for us at the last minute, and I understand the food vendors were happy as well. 15 registered students and 8 parents backstage working, a lot of volunteer hours for video and photography. And tonight is our movie premiere
Yes,
of
ma'am.
Disney's Aladdin Jr. for our cast over at Tico Hall after our meeting. So we're very proud of the kids and looking forward to Beauty and the Beast as our next one. So we'll keep y'all posted.
And then finally, we had our Haunted Happenings event on the 30th.
Which was also astounding.
Understand Anne was the star of the show.
She was.
She was.
She was absolutely the star of the show. We had 363 cars, which contained just under 1,070.
1,070.
It was 1,069 people that were.
Yes, 1,000 people. It was
Everyone's coming around the bike.
nonstop
Really
cars.
close. Yeah, not
Bumper
rolling
to
around on a
bumper,
bike.
all the way through, and it went past the 9 o'clock too, didn't it?
You had to get there by 9.
Yes,
right?
we finished at 9:20, and honestly, I was on cloud 9 after that event. Halloween's my favorite holiday.
Yes.
So this event really blew me away.
Yeah.
We had about 12 scenes, 11 vendors that had booths, And we just had cars drive through Oldsmar Sports Complex, and they had their windows down. Everybody was, again, properly socially distanced. And I did not see one sad face.
No.
And I
Everybody
was,
thoroughly enjoyed it.
as Amber said, I was riding around on my bike all night just because I wanted to be able to get from one end of the park quickly. And every single face, volunteers, workers, people in cars, everybody was just through the roof. And it was certainly one of my favorites.
Yes, huge success. Hats off.
Thank you. So for upcoming events, we have our Veterans Day ceremony. We are transitioning that to a live stream on Facebook to make it accessible, during the pandemic. We're actually going to hold it here. And then on the 13th, on Friday, hopefully the weather allows us to have Sunset Sounds down at Ari Olds. We're having Brother Brownlow come out for that, and we will employ the dots again. We have our tree lighting on the 1st of December. That's going to be another live streaming, much shorter ceremony so that we can still carry on the tradition and build the Christmas spirit, but make it more accessible and safer for everybody involved. December 4th, Christmas Wonderland. It's going to be very much like Halloween in the setup. Everybody's going to have Christmas movie themes. It's going to be
Back over there again? Yep, because that seemed to work well, yeah.
Yeah.
Question about that though. The only negative feedback I received was about the traffic. People didn't listen to me. I said you got either early or at the end. And I did both.
And that is something that we are taking into consideration and discussing.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
I thought maybe ticketed times. I don't know if that would work, but
That many people that showed up.
right now it's a lot.
We truly didn't
360
know how many
cars.
people were
Yeah.
going to show up for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that we're gonna implement a little bit differently is, Wes can hear me. One of the things that we looked at was the way that we flowed the traffic. So instead of having one car line go and then another car line go, we'll alternate cars. So if the first two cars that come in will go A and B, and then we'll have C and D lined up back to back so that we can go 1, 2, 1, 2. Two things that does, it keeps a double stack all the way back on Winter's Way to Curlew, and then it also keeps each line moving at least a little bit so that you're not just stuck in a line waiting for 50 cars to go past you this way and then you go and then 50 cars the other way. So we've kind of talked about some of that. So hopefully that'll keep things moving a little bit, but man, I don't know, just I heard we were backed up down the Crash Street Kitchen. So that's a long way,
Yeah.
but we'll take the success.
So we will miss our snow for Christmas Wonderland.
Yes, we
No
will.
more snow, okay.
Yes.
I can't get you guys to line the parking lot with snow or anything, right? Okay.
No globe.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we need to look for one of our sets, is they have those big bulbs that you're in with the snow, and there you go.
I'm absolutely sure that somebody is going to come with something similar to that.
Probably, yes, probably.
Suda. So then the day after that, we have Miss Suda's dance rehearsal, or recital, not rehearsal, it's a recital, for her Christmas show.
It is the 2020 recital, it is the May recital, the summer show, and the winter recital, all wrapped up into one. So we'll be calling it our probably,
2020 show.
Yeah, crazy 2020 recital with all the shows wrapped up. It'll be about 2 hours long, and it'll be down at the park, which we're looking forward to.
And then on the 11th, movie in the park, Frozen sing-along. We will again put our, Amber, we got you. We heard you. We'll be using the dots again. And then on the 12th, we're going to have a very busy day. We have breakfast with Santa in the morning down at Ari Olds Park. And in the evening, we will have our golf cart parade, our 3rd annual golf cart parade. We also have a virtual Light Up Oldsmar sort of competition, raffle type competition, where we're encouraging people to send us pictures of their decorated homes with all their lights. And then we will, of all the winners, we'll do a raffle of prizes. So I'm looking forward to that one. We also have a few other virtual things in the works.
So no photos with Santa obviously is off the agenda this year as well, right? Or did you guys
Actually,
finding a way
we have a
to-
really cute idea for Breakfast with Santa where we're going to put Santa sort of in a chimney and have the child peeking over like a rooftop at
cute,
Santa. So it is properly socially distanced, but they still
and a
get
nice
their photo.
different twist on it. Good. Okay.
My staff has some genius ideas.
I will add in on your events, it was very sad to not have our 20th talent show this year. I understand, and when Leonard told me, I said, dude, you should have called me. I could have gotten you 6 or 10 numbers in an instant. But I understand it was more because they had a number of people pull out. Our Ruth Eckerd Hall group pulled out because they had COVID hit. And we ended up with about 6 numbers. And although we don't like it to be Miss Suda's Dancers show and a couple of others, they did have a few more calling in and stuff. So I was sad to see that we didn't show must go on attitude, which is always good, but understandably, a lot of things had to cancel this year and stuff. So a bigger and better one next year. I did like your idea of considering doing it out on the stage down at the park, though. A lot of, we know we have a lot of issues with that and areas we have to resolve, but I think that's great. Thanks, Bren.
One more update on, I'm going to expand a little bit on the golf cart parade. In the past, you guys know that the golf cart parade was part of the Christmas Wonderland event where we would start at City Hall and they would drive down Park Boulevard and end up in Ariels Park. So this year, since it's a standalone event, what we're going to do is we're planning on starting the event at Bicentennial Park. They will go down Shore, they'll go down Lafayette, make a right onto Shore. They'll go to Bayview, go right onto Bayview, and then they make a right onto, is it? Arlington? Anyway, we'll come up into the neighborhood.
Old parade route, it would be Dartmouth.
So Dartmouth, and then it would zigzag up and down through the downtown area north of St. Pete Drive so that we don't close that road off. And then they'll make their way back past the library and then back to Bicentennial Park. So it'll be a longer event. And we chose that route because of the medians. We could get people to go on the medians, keep one side of the road over, especially on Lafayette. And then there's a small portion of Shore that doesn't have that. But once we go back up Bayview, that'll be able to happen. So we just thought, let's try to enhance it a little bit since we're in a different time and we don't have the big event with the snow slide and everything this year. So so that was the plan. So we're looking forward to that.
And that's December 12th, correct?
December 12th, starting at 6.
And didn't you have like 100 entries last year or something? Or I know it was a lot more than you expected, but do you recall?
We had, I think, more the first year than we did the second year. I think we had 54 the first year.
Right. So, but yeah, so we're looking to have more participation this year because of the longer route. So I
Sure.
think that'll encourage others. And it'll be on a Saturday, so people have more time to decorate instead of right after work on a Friday. So
Yep, good.
entries, what is the entry?
Spread the word.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know off the top of
Is
my
it
head.
on the city website?
Or it will be. or something.
Yes, it's on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, the registration is open.
Okay.
Those are the upcoming events.
Thank you. Before I move on to the next agenda item, I would ask your indulgence. We have a late arriving citizen who I know wanted to address. Our Citizens Open Forum is passed, but would it be any objections to her? Lee? Please state your name and address for the record, and yes. And to your left is Chip Potts, the Leisure Services Director.
Hello.
Name and address for the record, Lee.
Lee Whalen, 590 Trout Lane, Oldsmore. I live in Gull Air, not too far from where Kenny lives. I have a dog. I use the trail a lot. And we've been having, 2 years ago, I asked Mr. Wells about widening the trail to edge it. We have got so many dogs now, our dog population in Gull Air alone has doubled. So we've got close to about almost 500 dogs.
Wow.
There's 667 homes back there. And they love their dogs. Problem is, the people who live across Curlew in those apartments and the condos are coming down under the bridge and also using the trail. And then we have the bikers who go 45 miles an hour down the trail. And they don't care what side they're on. They'll hit you. They won't say anything. They don't use a bell. They don't do anything. And they come up behind you and like to give you a heart attack. I noticed in the last couple of weeks that you're all getting all primed and proper down here in the park, and it looks beautiful. I'm glad to see they're mowing the lower end of the park, which they only do once a month. It's very hard to find dog poop if the grass is this high. I also asked Mr. Wells about that. You have a dog pen. It's a great pen. It's nice. Problem is, lawnmower guys come in, they cut it that short. Dogs run over it, dig it all up. So you have a mud hole year round. Another one I put to Mr. Wells. I seem to be on a personal balance with Alexis, which apparently doesn't do any good. I'm trying to figure out some way of getting our trail edged. I kicked back a section of it, and the grass has come over almost 6 inches on both sides. That extra 6 inches might save somebody's life. Might save a dog, might save a person walking it, and it sure might save one of those bikers. And if we could just kind of work a little bit better on this, because I would hate to see anybody get hurt. You know, I don't think, you know, the trail's out there for people to enjoy. We got guys fishing on the side, they're, somebody's gonna catch a hook, you know? The trail needs help.
Comments, Chip?
No, I'll address that with him tomorrow. He's out of town. He's coming back tomorrow, so I will address that with him. We have.
I hope you have better luck with him. I've been fighting this for 3 years.
Okay. Well, one of the good things that we have now is we have a new edging machine, which allows.
I saw it.
Okay. So.
Like I said, I walk the park twice a day.
Okay.
I'm out there at 6:30 in the morning before the bikers get out, because I don't want to get run over. I don't want my dog getting run over. I don't want my friend getting run over. Of course, she's got a chow that's about this big. Probably eat one of those bikes.
Right. Yeah, I'll address that with him when I see him.
The other thing is the bags.
The doggy bags?
Yep.
Okay.
Last year, up until this past year, when we had to lay everybody off, the head guy over across the street that's working right there behind the
sports complex?
It's crossed behind where you have the bike race.
Right, the sports complex,
Yeah.
Richard.
The
Right.
guy who used to do that never missed a beat. He made sure all those things were filled, especially now, because we have so many dogs and so many people coming across the street. There's no signs posted. There was a guy coming whipping down through there on a Segway this morning. Got 2 signs, one from the bridge, one coming out of the park saying no motorized vehicles, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got. Now, I understand Mud Swift has a problem about signs. Would Mud Swift have a bigger problem if they were sued? I mean, it's bad enough the bikers don't say anything. When I used to ride the trails over in Dunedin, I used to go all the way up to Holiday. I had a bell on my bike. I stayed where I was supposed to stay, and I do 54 miles every day. Over here, they don't care. They ride down the middle, they ride down the sides. They don't say anything. They come up behind you. They don't say nothing. They get right alongside you and get a heart attack.
Yeah, we've had some talks about bike etiquette and.
Yeah,
Trying
and
to
it takes a sign. That's all it takes. There's got to be some way we can get Swift Mud to get off their cans and put up some signs.
If they don't like the signs, you could maybe stencil the pathway itself on it, and that way it wouldn't be anything. People see that as they're walking.
Well, I was thinking like can of paint,
They come by you and
people, bikes, people.
You could go walk over to look at something.
And it might save somebody's life.
Can you be in touch, Chip?
Yes.
with Lee?
But, I mean, like I said, from 7 o'clock to about 12, there's got to be at least 300 dogs on that trail. And I walked the trail this morning. I went past 5 boxes. 3 of them had nothing. One had 2. The one all the way down by the back bridge in the park. They 3 weeks to get bags in that.
You will hear from Chip.
Yep.
Promise.
Thank you
Right,
for
Chip?
bringing this to our attention
Thank
as
you,
well,
Lee.
and Chips as well.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Be careful what you say to the bikers.
I'd like to, there's a lot of things I'd like to say.
You never know who's packing. Be careful.
Yeah. oh,
Y'all
well.
talk about the
Careful.
racetrack opening up, I'm racetrack for 55 years. So there's a lot of things I can say to those bikers. Trust me.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay. All right, Chip, you're on the record. Okay.
I got it.
All right, next item is the last page in our packet there, the meeting schedule for next year. Everybody okay with these?
It's August 9th.
February, May, August, November?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Oh,
Do we need a motion to approve it?
Well, I had a question. I think it was brought up before, but is there any way we can get more meetings if we approve that? Because, I mean, we are the leisure services, which cover sports.
I get
theater.
lost with, I know we said we're trying them. I know we had to cut the board down.
was it you?
Huh? We've
Oh,
been
okay.
fighting to go back, several of us have, to more meetings.
We addressed this a couple months ago, and we used to meet like 10 times a year. And I think we voted to keep this, didn't we?
I don't think it was our choice to vote to keep it. I think it was
Well,
told
we
to us we
voted, I
had to
think,
keep it.
not to present it to city council.
I think we were
for
told this was how it had to be, period.
Okay.
Make the most of them. Yeah.
So we just keep talking to our councilmen and reminding them that,
We have to
trying to
do
fill
any-
us in on 15 events in one meeting because we haven't met for 3 months, or the things that are going on gets a little challenging.
Do we have to do anything with this, Ann? Just, it's
We need to
presented?
approve it.
Okay, okay.
The city should know that if they need us, besides one of these 4 dates, that we certainly would be open to coming in to accommodate whatever.
right.
Me, I'm so much more used to an active role when we did 10 and 12 in the past, so that we heard monthly reports. And I appreciate the stuff that you guys do send out monthly, because that keeps us apprised on stuff. But, for example, I'm looking back over my minutes, and there's been things we've been talking about for the past year, and it's only been 4 meetings, So it's where we're at right now. I think we still have to keep bringing it to their attention, because there are, not everybody, but there are a number of people that believe we would like to be more regular or more informed, or, go to 6 a year or something like that.
Every other month or something is.
Yes,
thinking at least.
so we're still asking about that, I guess, Chip.
Chip, can I ask you, on the trail, because I understand with the lady that was just up, that I have a big problem when I go walking and people come behind, and of course, lots of times I even go to the Riverwalk in Tampa and walk there, and I think a lot of people hate me because, it's busy in our trails, if it gets busy at times too, but you can't see behind you. And it used to be that you had to have a bell on your bike or something to let people, years ago when I used to ride my bike, and now they don't do that. So they just come zooming by you, and I feel for this lady because it's happened to me. And I don't see any signs up on the trail, with having a bell. If you're riding your bike with pedestrians, you need to let them know that you're behind them and passing them.
Yeah, I'm not-
Right or left is all you have to say, or ring a bell.
Coming up behind, yes.
Yeah. And they don't do that anymore, and it's scary.
Yeah, it's like, unfortunately, like it was said, it's a matter of etiquette, and
Well, but people, they don't have it anymore. The bikes they sell don't have the things on, so, and it is etiquette, but obviously it's gone to the wayside.
Maybe a reminder sign at the beginning of the trail and at the end of the trail. So
Right, yeah,
proper bike
have them
etiquette,
there
please
to
let them
make
know.
sure, yeah.
So, on my trail at Forest Lakes,
I can't.
from what I know of, there are some okay bikers down there. Since we have
Some
a
that
wide-
follow the rules, yeah.
Yes, they do. So I'm happy about that. But yes, I really want to fix this problem. It's very scary also. But the thing is that my trail has a wide road, so people can maneuver through the people. So if we just stay on different sides, I mean, it's safe. And if you just go at a safe speed, I mean, it's okay. But like zooming past behind you, that would give me a heart attack too. So yes.
All right, leisure services learning moment.
the learning moment. So just kind of, you've heard Brent mention about some of our events, and I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up on how we came up with our spacing and our distancing and things like that. So, the challenge was how to offer events that followed guidelines and still allowed people to return to some sense of normality. I mentioned earlier, the staff adapted to it pretty well, and the events that we've offered so far have been successful. So just to go into a little bit of what we did during the events, for example, like Movie in the Park, the Opal performance, the Sunset Sounds. As Bryn mentioned, we painted dots on the grass. We measured them out. They're actually 16 feet apart, which basically gives you a 10-foot diameter, which then 3 feet on each side. So if you have another spot over here, there's your 6 feet distance in between. So staff would go out, we measured, and we kind of crisscrossed 16 feet apart these dots. So so that helped with the spacing. When people came in, staff would catch us, hey, make sure we have spots painted in the grass, make sure you guys find a spot. That way we stay socially distanced. We had signs up that said groups of 8 or less, try to make sure that, and I think once people, they see that they got used to it a little bit, they say, okay, I see the dot, and it actually worked out really well. So we also, for those events, we sanitize the bathrooms every half an hour. We have a backpack sprayer that we use at our facilities. So staff would go in on the half hour, spray it down, wipe it down, and then open it back up. So we were very mindful of that, just trying to keep things as clean as we can. Haunted Happenings was obviously, it was a drive-through event. The vendors and the scenes were not allowed to hand out candy individually. What we did is we had candy and promotional items in bags that were donated that were given out at the end by staff or volunteers who were wearing masks. So they would see somebody come up, how many in the vehicle? 2, okay, here's your bag, and then continue moving along. So we tried to minimize the interaction there. And then, as Bryn mentioned, we have our virtual Veterans Day ceremony, which will be on Wednesday in council chambers. No general public, unfortunately. The only people that will be there will have City Council, the Veterans Advisory Board, some of our administrative staff, the keynote speaker. The color guard will come in, present the colors, and they will exit. That's it. The national anthem, she will come in, she will sing, and then she will exit. And then the presentation will take place up top here. We'll have everybody spaced out, kind of like you see today. We'll have everybody spaced out, and it'll be what it'll be. But at least we're able to recognize the veterans on that day, and we'll still have something to present to the community. So I think our plan moving forward for right now is to continue to offer the smaller events. When we say small, 400, 570, right?
If I guess.
It's but when I say the smaller events, they're more controllable because you have a stage, whether it's the movie or the concert or the show or the play. You have something that's just set right there, and people come in and they sit around. It's not like a Celebrate Oldsmar or an Oldsmar Days and Nights where you have carnival rides over here and you have bounce houses over here, or Winter Wonderland where there's a slide, or maybe it's an event like Celebrate Oldsmar where there's alcohol being served and people are just walking around and doing. The events that we have now are now more localized. They're focused to certain spots. So I think that's the direction that we're planning our events moving forward now. I'm not sure when that's going to change. Nobody knows. But at least we're able to, like I said, at least we're able to put something back, give something back to the community on that, and they've been very well received. So that's just kind of how we've kind of met some guidelines to try to try to present, a safe, fun alternative for the community there. So that's just a little bit of how we came up with that and what kind of measures we took to try to make it safe. So that's your quick learning moment there.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you,
for
Ken.
meeting the
Thank you, Ken.
challenges, yes, indeed. Okay, our last meeting in August, was the first time in my board history since 2008 where we did not have a quorum. I think Ann said that it was the first time she could remember, period. So we need to approve excused absences for Tom, Ken, Pat, and Gina. I guess, what do we
I'd
do
like
with
to-
that, Ann? We just,
I'd like to discuss it first, if you
Okay.
don't mind. I have no problem excusing the absences, but obviously now we are setting precedents for excused absences in the future, correct? Because, and doesn't our thing currently say that if you miss a meeting, you're off the board? Obviously, as we said, we didn't want to have a case where the entire board had to go, okay?
I think it's two.
And I would like to set precedent. We should be able to miss a meeting if we need to, but
It's 2 meetings.
Right, so the attendance requirement is not to miss 2 in any 12-month period, and you're only
Okay.
meeting 4 times a year,
okay.
right? So whether it's excused or not, it doesn't affect
I know we kicked somebody
that
off because they
number.
were late to a meeting, for example, so.
It doesn't take away the miss for August.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Explain
have a
your
problem.
phrasing.
I've always felt we should be able to excuse absences. It was when they were getting out of control that was an issue,
Right,
okay?
well, excusing the absence does not remove that attendance requirement. The attendance requirement is still in place. You're just saying, yes, we understand. It's just
Of course,
saying to your fellow board members, hey, we get it,
It
it's
was a
fine.
COVID thing.
sure. I mean, no, I totally
time.
understand. This has been a touchy subject, and you
Hopefully we
guys
don't
know
have
why
another
it's been a
pandemic
touchy
next year,
subject. It was used to take the numbers down on the board. So, and we did that now. So I'm just questioning. I think that's great. I would motion to approve the absences, but they're up against now 1 or 2 absences that they're allowed within the 12-month period, correct?
They should not miss any more in the next, in that 12-month period. But you're talking about the August meeting, so,
2 more.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll be glad to motion to approve the absences. I just want to make sure.
But it's not wiping it off their record.
Right, understand, understand. We've never seen a spot. I guess we haven't had any absences.
I guess it's just the wording on this agenda item. It shouldn't read approve excused. It's not being excused.
Acknowledge.
It's being noted.
Acknowledge, there you go.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right, right. And we acknowledge that nobody got kicked off because this isn't their second time on any of these 4, right?
Right.
Right, nobody's being kicked, yeah, because nobody had another one within the 12 months
Right, and that's,
earlier,
I think, the
right.
key that's in the new lingo for us now, that we have
Yeah.
to abide by.
But as an example, council will approve or excuse absences
Mm-hmm.
or not excused absences, but it still counts till the total.
Sure.
They can't miss more than 6 out of all the meetings they have in any 12-month period without automatically vacating their office.
Okay, understand. Well, I make a motion to approve, as it's listed, to approve the absences for Tom, Ken, Pat, and Gina for August. I think it was an unusual case. I know I've been on boards that have had to deal with this before, and we usually try to call in and let them know when we're not going to be there, so we know if we have a quorum or not. So I guess that'd be my only reminder to everybody, if that's standard procedure, that if you're not going to be here, it's always good probably to let Ann know. So if we find a case where we do have too many missing, we get a heads up before coming in.
I can only speak for myself. If I knew there was a meeting, I would have been here.
Somehow I knew about it, so they
Okay,
didn't
well,
get you the paperwork, or it
evidently
didn't get
you
on your
did, but
calendar?
there was 4 of the 7 that didn't, and we didn't know that we were back in that routine.
Oh, okay, you guys didn't get the emails and stuff.
I did not.
Gotcha.
So I can, from my end of it, since COVID and with people telecommuting, they've enhanced our firewalls and what kind of emails are allowed to go through. We have a program called Mimecast, and things will get there, and you'll get an email that says messages on hold, and you can check that and then go out, and sometimes the messages will be there and sometimes they won't. But if they're marked as phishing, which in this case I found out ours were, you can see that there's an email, but you can't release it into your inbox to read it. So I've talked to our IT and they said, unfortunately, right now we can't fix it. However, my company was just bought, and the new company, I think they're not going to get weeded out. But it could have been a problem for other people too. I don't
For me, I
know.
happened to go on the website of the cities to confirm that we had a meeting. That was the first place. And then if I didn't have the emails and stuff. So just keep that in mind, I guess. We're back to normal now, so it's not an issue, and we've got our schedule. So I motion that we approve
I still have a question about that. Do we have to physically be here for those meetings?
Yes.
Because what happens if one of us did get COVID? Could we call in to be present at that meeting? No?
Are the meetings allowed to be virtual for anybody that wouldn't be able to be here? I think is kind of what she's asking.
That would be up to the mayor and city council, and the mayor canceled his executive order allowing the capability to do that, so we don't currently have that capability in place.
Okay, all right. We'll address it if it comes up, and as I said, I suggest we approve the excused absences for Tom, Ken, Pat, and Gina, and it is unfortunate to have the mar on your record where we're up against.
I don't feel smart in my record. I've been on the board for 20 years. You've never had a problem with me if I've ever missed a meeting. I've always
I'm the same way.
communicated.
I'm the same way. I mean, except for the
well-
3 years I couldn't get back on the board. But yeah, I've been on since 1980 as well on these boards. So I'm with you. I agree. We all make them a priority, and I think that's great that the core group that we have makes them a priority.
We have a motion for the absence item on the agenda. Could you second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys can't second
Opposed?
for yourself, can you?
Gonna vote we're the item. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's all be here in February.
Golly, February
All
is a
right.
long time.
Next item is new business. If you could differentiate that between your board comments, keep new business and board comments separate. Any new business, any new item anybody wants to bring up?
Looking at my notes.
Okay, let's move on to board comments. I'm going to ask our Vice Chair, Suda, to begin, and she will add her comments and also go around the board.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I know we've all had some trying times going through this, and I do applaud everybody for all the different activities you try to stay involved in through these challenging times. It's with a mother 82 living at home and myself with asthma. I know what it's like that we do our exceptional best to protect ourselves. I compliment the city on what they're doing as well within our dance classes and things over at the rec center. The sanitizing and such in between is excellent. And, you know, we're doing what we can to protect ourselves. That's the best we can do at this point. I do understand we are on a rise right now. We've seen a surge. I'm seeing some head shaking, yes. So we can't, you know, go by without reminding everybody to do your best, because there is a surge, and of course the bars opened and, you know, things like that. And so I don't go to the bars. I do want to share with everybody, we're very proud. The Oldsmar Friends of the Arts is now officially a 501c3 status approved by the state and federal government. So you guys will be hearing more about that. We will be raising money for our performing arts programs, including Opal Theater, which needs good underwriting for the higher end plays that we're doing and such. Real quick, Ann, I did receive the budget from you, but I couldn't get access to it. What I'm looking for is the stage. Did it get approved and get on the budget? I know it was supposed to, had fingers crossed. They're talking about a new stage for the rec center that
That's
they've
not
been
in this
looking
year's,
at.
it's not in this year's budget.
Okay, all right, not in the
this-
2021.
No.
We had hoped it might get on the October, and that's what I was looking for, no worries. We've had our stage for over 15 years, I think, if not more. So it's seen some better days. Also, Chip, I'll always remind you about the parking at the rec center.
Yeah, I researched the original blueprint drawings, and they don't exist on the original blueprint. So I'm wondering if that's why they were pulled. I have to get with engineering on that to find out.
Just keep it in mind, because especially on badminton night and volleyball nights or whatever, and dance class or programs or everything, the more parking we can get there, the better we protect the easement across the street that most of the trucks park in, which technically isn't our property and such like that. Compliments on the flooring in the dance room. Nice. It does not scratch. It holds up to the taps and everything. You could walk in there right now and not even know we've been tap dancing on it for a month. The color was a great choice, Bryn. It is a gray color, and it brightened up the whole room. I mean, even photographs we take in there now are like night and day. So thank you on that one. Clean up. The Mobley Bayou Towers, I'll always remind you about. I know we've kind of trying to do something about that in our future. Also, Hector and I are honored to have one of our photos on canvas hanging in the front lobby of the Commerce Building. It was one of the ones we submitted for the photo contest with the Oldsmobile car sitting in front of Ari Olds Park. Photoshopped, of course, because I always admit when I Photoshop. And we were very proud to see that in there as well. And finally, you covered everything else. There was one more. Oh, kids on golf carts. Can you guys confirm for me? It is like a $500 fine, and kids are not allowed to drive golf carts unless they have a license, correct? Check it out. You've got a lot of kids toting around on our end. And I believe when I checked it out recently,
There shouldn't be any on the trails.
no, just on the streets.
On the streets.
Driving golf carts, kids unattended, without parents. And I believe it is a law that you have to have a license to drive a golf cart. And I believe if they're caught, it's like a $500 fine. So I'm just, again, reminding anybody around here that sees kids on golf carts or knows families that the parents go ahead, take the golf cart out, just to get them out of the house. That's not how it works. And we've had some that have made some trouble. And and I know you guys are aware of what I call our rug rompers that don't have much better to do than try to tear up equipment and climb on top of shelters and, and run across their bikes in front of cars and almost get hit. So.
Well, it's good because that's one of the things we addressed in the Ordinance Review Committee was climbing on top of structures.
Good, good. So I thank you for that, and I understand Ken is turning this over so that I would like to go ahead and continue calling on comments. Tom, we'll start on your end. Do you have anything for us today?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. And Ms. Pat?
No, it just feels good to be at a meeting again, and I think before I was kind of against having more, but I think it would be good if we had more, because I feel lost with a lot of things, and I'm willing to change my whatever travel schedule I did have.
Put that on the agenda for February, Ann?
You can tell we're going to get a lot with that, but that's okay. I think we still need to keep talking about
No,
it.
but I meant if we could do something or think about it.
Support.
February.
Thank you, Pat. Ken?
I don't have much for comments. I did want to tell you guys did a great job with the events, with all the issues. The numbers sound really good. Very happy for you guys.
They were fun, energizing.
But it's been very enlightening here for me. First meeting and hearing all this is good news.
Thanks.
And go over to Miss Gina.
I'm good.
You're good?
Happy
I know
to be
you're
back.
good, girl. All right. And how about Amber?
Again, great job on all the events this past October, Masuda, Chip. Those were all great. And thank you for selecting me back in February. And I look forward to being at the next meeting in February.
Perfect. And we're going over to Jackson next.
So, hello again. My name is Jackson Siddle, and I am still very thankful to be here today. So, thank you for appointing me to this committee. And I am very excited to help and do as much as I can to help Oldsmar. So, it's really good for me to get here into politics. It's very big now, and it's one of my goals. So, I want to learn a lot here. And my third goal is I want to speak up and help anyone here in this wonderful city of Oldsmar, just to make sure that everyone has a very good living experience, because that's what we all want, right?
A boy needs to be in politics, right, guys?
So I'm a homeschool teen, and there definitely isn't anything in Oldsmar for me to meet teens who live in my community. So I have a couple ideas that I might want to just bring up that might work. So I mentioned that tree service where we gave away a lot of trees, which was very good. I didn't see many teens there, so I kind of had an idea for a volunteer club for teens who need volunteer hours, because for Bright Futures, we all need, as teens, good volunteer hours, so that can help us get into college and help us get a good education, but it also teaches us morals and how to treat people, and it also just gets us involved in our community. So maybe we could help residents with chores or do collections for charities. I mean, we could help this whole entire city with volunteers, and everyone would get everything. It's a win-win. So nothing can go really wrong with it. So that's one of my ideas.
Excellent. Brent, anything we could do with that?
Well, Karen would be, yeah, and I was gonna say, Karen's gonna be your volunteer
Correct.
center, and
Correct.
whether or not it goes on an agenda item to see if we can help them coordinate and guide on what can be done. That's up to the, yeah. Excellent, good suggestion.
Yes, definitely. And some meetup classes that regularly with local adults who can teach repair and DIY skills, money skills,
that'd be
speaking
good.
skills, dress for success, how to interview for a job. I mean,
How to sew
these
a
are
button on.
all very good life lessons. And anyone, almost anyone can learn it. Imagine if maybe I'm a teenager and I never knew like how to use money. Like
How to change a tire.
how to
There's
change
all
a
kinds of
tower,
things like that.
or, I
Brent,
mean,
is there
a
something they
tire.
can put on the list at the rec center?
maybe how to help my parents fix up the house, and
Sure, Brent's gonna look at maybe doing something like a program that might come out of the rec
Ah.
center that you can help us pass the word and promote and things like that. That's great.
and board game nights are also popular. It can get some kids off their phones.
Right, right.
And ideas for classes: improv, speech and debate, yoga, mindfulness for teens, ballroom dancing, art, photography, and self-defense. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm interested in. I mean, I do self-defense, and I mean, it's good to know when to defend yourself and how to. So it's just good to keep that in our systems for safety reasons.
Sure, we do have a karate teacher, but he's not started back up, has he? Understand, understand. So we'll be building on those.
And the thing is that these aren't really taught in schools. So people who go to school, I mean, if there's an after class that they can go to learn this stuff, I mean, they can learn the stuff in school and learn some other things, maybe self-defense or because not everything people can do in school. So if we can get after school programs, I mean, that would be awesome. And that's all my ideas for now.
Jackson, excellent, good
Thank you.
suggestions. I think Bren's pen
Brent
is
got
running
up
out of
to
ink over
3
there.
pages, I think.
Yeah,
right
you're gonna be chatting with Bren, I'm
Yes.
sure, very soon.
And congratulations on all the project updates. I'm very happy about that, making things safer. And that Forest Lakes, you're making that water park better. Very good. I'm happy about the progress. So I'll give you guys a
Round of
very
applause,
good
thank you.
round of applause. So thank you.
Excellent, Jackson, thank you.
Good politician.
Right?
Like I said, we see, he's following Mama's footsteps, so we'll get her on council first and get him right behind her. All right, and that got everybody, so it would come
Got
back
all
to
that,
Ken.
Brent? You got all that?
She's still writing away.
No, I'm literally gonna have to ask them after this.
So, Jackson, please stay after class tonight, and we'll get you all taken care of.
Follow up on that, really, seriously.
And then back to
By all
Ken.
means. Okay, I just want to say that I'm very thankful to live in Oldsmar, to serve on this board especially for all these years. Thankful to know all of you and serve with you. Everybody have a nice Thanksgiving and a nice Christmas season. And a motion for adjournment.
I'm going to motion that we'll see you all next year and adjourn our meeting.
Second? All in favor
Aye.
and opposed? All right, we be adjourned.